The extra gear.
In this, the final clip in this chapter, we'll get down to the real-world aspects of mental skills coaching and talk about what actually happens when you work with a mental skills coach. Although every mental skills coach works a little differently, I'll tell you some of the standard practices in the field so you'll know what to expect from a mental skills training program. During your first meeting, a mental skills coach will typically want information about your involvement in your sport, what you see as your mental skills strengths and weaknesses, as well as the things that you would like to get from mental skills coaching. This initial session is typically used to help the coach assess your needs, as well as to give you a chance to ask questions, express concerns, and to check out how you feel about working together. After the first session, you will usually meet again to more specifically assess your needs. In this assessment phase, the mental skills coach will likely analyze the mental characteristics that are most important for your specific sport, as well as to help you determine your individual mental skills strengths and weaknesses. Many mental skills coaches use questionnaires to help them with this assessment, such as tests that measure your anxiety, confidence, and mental skills that you use most often. The information gathered from these interviews and questionnaires are then discussed with you to determine your individual mental skills training goals, the specific mental training skills to be used, the sequence in which they'll be practiced, as well as the ways that will be used to evaluate their effectiveness. After this assessment, a mental skills training program can be thought of as having 3 different phases: education, acquisition, and practice. The education phase is a little like going to school, but there aren't any tests and it's a lot more fun. In this phase, you'll learn the strategies and techniques to help you reach your specific goals. For example, if you're learning about intensity management techniques, you'll learn that everyone has their own individual zone of optimal functioning and get help to determine the specific characteristics of your peak performance state. The acquisition phase is next. In this stage, you'll be given exercises to master the desired mental skill. In our example, you might learn progressive relaxation to help you deal with pre-competition jitters. These exercises are usually practiced in a distraction-free, idealized environment until they become second nature. Finally, after the technique has been mastered, you'll begin the practice phase. Here, the coach will help you integrate these mental skills into your training and practices. Once this is accomplished, you'll be ready to use the techniques in your competitions. During the entire process of mental skills coaching, it's critically important that you are an active participant in determining the goals of your training, which mental skills are to be practiced, and how you'll practice them. Mental skills coaching isn't like taking your car into an auto mechanic and saying, "Something's wrong, fix it." It's a 50-50 relationship, where you and your coach work together as a team to determine what's to be done and how it's to be accomplished. In addition, it's important to realize that mental skills training takes practice. You can meet with a strength coach who will give you a set of weight training exercises, but unless you actually do the exercises, you can't expect to make any progress. It's the same with mental skills training. A mental skills coach can give you exercises and techniques to improve your mental game, but you won't see improvement unless you practice them. Finally, a few last thoughts. Everything that goes on between you and your mental skills coach is confidential. No information can be released to anybody else without your permission. Now, it's not unusual for mental skills coaches to request your permission to release information to your coach, sport medicine physician, or even your family if they think that it would help. But no information about you should be released to anyone without your permission. Lastly, you may want to know how often you're going to be meeting with your mental skills coach and how long it might take before you see some improvement. While there aren't any hard and fast rules about how frequently you're going to be meeting, but at first you might expect to meet with your mental skills coach for about an hour a week. These meetings may be at the coach's office, over the phone, or even at a competition, depending on your specific situation and needs. How long before you see an improvement is a much more difficult question to answer. It depends on how much time is available, your current mental skills strengths and weaknesses, and your specific training goals. Many mental skills coaches feel that the ideal training time is between 3 to 6 months. This will give you and your coach time to assess your needs, teach you the appropriate mental skills to reach your goals, practice the skills, and integrate them into your competitions. But, just like with physical skills, mental skills aren't something to be practiced once and then abandoned. So think of your mental skills coach like a strength coach, someone that you can count on to help keep you stay sharp and improve your game from your first season to your last.